What's that?
2 sodas left. Yeah, well,
This?
yeah.
This is what I'm drinking. Start talking.
Yeah. And I'll talk. And
Okay.
basically make conversation. It's essentially a podcast without a podcast.
So the first thing I want to discuss is how surprised I was with the amount of people there.
Yeah.
I went in hoping as a salesman that there was going to be a lot of people there, and I was going into it promoting as a salesman that there was a lot of people going to be there. But as the day progressed, it was shocking the amount of people that were there. Like, I think, what we say, about 2,000?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And the setup, so this is what I'm going to give kudos big time to Steve Maple and to Michigan Metal Fest, because when they made the decision, whether it was last year, it had to be last year, to go with 2 stages instead of 3 and go with a format that gave every band their own performance with nobody else playing, it created an atmosphere where the crowd was just moving from stage to stage. The whole crowd.
Yeah, like you would.
It was a mass.
I was sitting over by Nailbite talking to them, and I looked over my shoulder, and the entire main stage was empty. There was not a soul standing in front of the main stage. Every single person wanted to go see, what was it, Them Fighting Words.
Yeah, I forget. It's funny you say that, because I forget exactly what band it was, but I was at the main stage because they were setting somebody up, and I was talking to somebody and getting set up, and so we're about ready to roll. And I mean, they only had like 5 minutes between bands.
Yeah.
It was really quick.
Oh, yeah.
So the band on stage 2, I don't know who it was, but they finish, and I'm like standing there, and it's like watching this army coming at you through the little trail between those trees, you know? And
a bunch of shirtless ass men.
Look,
women
first,
coming out.
and no, hear me out, because first you get like the scouts, right?
Yeah.
First you get like the first 2 to 4 guys. They're kind of like by themselves or 2 times. And then like here comes the army behind them, you know? It's like they said, it's clear. And yeah, like you said, it's cargo shorts and shirtless guys galore. And you're like, holy shit, look at all these people that are here. You know what? It might have been that might have been right before Nailbite, because I think Nailbite was like my first big set outside that I needed to do stuff. Yeah. So, you know, I've been seeing bands and interviewing up to that point, but that was like so I needed to get set. I needed to take a couple extra minutes to get set, and that's why I was over there. So I know for a fact it was Nailbite, actually, but yeah man. The army coming through the path of trees was just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And, you know, so that's the first thing I'll comment on is I feel like every band got their shot to do what they were there to do, which was wow some people that never saw them before into being fans.
Yeah, because there's a lot of times these festivals, the side stages get overlooked and they never really get attention. And some of these bands are just as good, if not better, as the guys on the main stage. So
yeah, it's funny you say that, because I, being in the music scene now for 30 years, this is what I think. I've seen the one-day traveling festivals of the 90s, and I've seen the modern day multi-day festival setup. And I'm telling you right now, sometimes you lose a bit when you have 80 bands and 100 bands we got 6 stages. And yes, you can pack in a ton of artists, but I think you lose something. I think you really do. So I think the setups like what we witnessed yesterday brings back the old days when it was a lot more personable at these festivals. But there was something else I was talking to people about yesterday, and it was funny because I was talking to about it earlier. I said it was 11. I remember exactly. It was 11:34 a.m.
Oh yeah.
And I'm in a pit. I don't remember what band it was, but 11:34 a.m. and I'm in a pit with multiple people. It's not like 4 people pushing around. Like, there was at least 15, 20 people in it. And I was like, this right here is reminiscent of the Warped Tour days, right? Exactly. I remember going to Warped Tour in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it would be a Tuesday at 11:30 in the morning, and you're starting a pit with 100 people.
Yeah, I sadly came after that generation, so this was a good kind of a good taste of that for someone to like.
Yeah, and
I personally liked it a lot. Being able to travel back and forth, keeping everything condensed, and like all the vendors are in one area, the stages are in one area. There wasn't any kind of like mass confusion on trying to get places or.
Yeah, it wasn't so spread
lines.
out that you were fucking worn out by the time you got to the stage.
And like even with setup for everything else, like there was no big outrageous lines for anything. There's plenty of food vendors, plenty of bathrooms. There was never a time where like everything was congested at one point. So it really did a good job at keeping the whole day flowing, make it feel like an event, not pack you in here like sardines.
Now, some of the things I wish I could report on to the regular Joe is things that would be important to them, which is how was parking? Well, I don't have any idea. We got there long before I think the general parking lot even opened, and we're in this media lot that's in the back. So, I can't honestly have nothing to say on that, so I don't know. How was the flowing through the line? I thought that was pretty good. Mark and I went up early, like when the gates opened up, so we could catch some interviews with some people coming through security and onto the grounds, and it seemed like it was flowing fine. I didn't see any issues.
Yeah, they were doing thorough bag checks. I was watching them. They were really kind of going through everything, pretty scrutinized, And so with that, I was kind of well, at least they're moving quick with it though. They're not taking 10 minutes a person or fighting people or anything like that. So it was good to kind of get them through the gate and ready to go. And the gates took you right into the vendors and kind of forced you to look at exactly what's there for you.
Yeah, I think because of the size of the event, they were able to take a security team and make them really cater to what they wanted them to do. And one of the things I think later on, as more people piled in there, because I know that BMF Security has been doing it for a long time and they do an excellent job. I think one of the things, I don't think anyone was prepared for the volume of people that were showing up.
Or the volume and the energy they had.
Yeah, the energy, volume and the energy. I think they thought it was going to be a little more like years before, and this year
it's gonna hotbox it, don't worry.
It was a totally different ball game, and they adapted extremely well.
Yeah.
I felt like, as a person who goes to tons of this stuff, I feel like I watched security starting to talk to themselves and get the message out that, hey, we got to change our game plan here because things are getting a little different than what we planned for. Not that it was getting crazy or wild. It's just different. You have a different volume, different energy, and you plan one style to keep everybody safe, but then you got a totally different thing going on. And I feel like they did. I feel like the coach of BMF, whoever that was, had stepped back and redrew a new play on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Called the guys in, and they readjusted, and off it went into a good direction. So kudos to BMF Security to be able to react on the scene like that and change up their plan.
Yeah, even as a part of the media team, I noticed that throughout the day they were changing some of the ways that they were handling us, because there was a lot of them this year, which is good. More media, more coverage. It shows that they're growing. But in the beginning, they were relaxed, and then towards the evening, they were getting more and more strict and getting upset that there were so many, and then that was causing a lot of turmoil. So
yeah,
they solved it pretty quickly. They figured out I think it's Ken, the leader of all the media there, and he gave us a solid answer, what we needed, what he expected, and what we wanted, and we were just basically, okay, back to work. So
they definitely had some challenges from Phil Thorne.
Yeah.
With
Phil's kind of started the whole day. Started the whole,
challenges, we'll say. So from Phil on, they definitely had challenges to deal with, not only with crowd, but with, as you said, things behind the scenes. And I can honestly say, again, kudos to BMF security.
Yeah.
And if I was running an event like that, I would definitely price them out, because as we keep saying, they just changed up their plan. Excuse me. And they were able to adapt and still make a quality event. And then, you go to bigger events, and security has to change what they're doing. And then all of a sudden there's buzz by the fans. Oh, security's assholes and this and that. And
Yep.
you didn't get that last night, even with the challenges, we'll say, that we saw happen. You never had this fan reaction of the security guys are assholes.
Yeah, even when I was having my personal challenges, not once did I see any of the other photographers raise their voice or get mad because things were changing. Or even when I ran into troubles, I wasn't upset. I was like, well, they explained the issue, I understood it, and we had changed what we were doing and moved on. So that I liked how respectful they were for that point. Instead of just giving us a cut and dry answer, they kind of, helped understand it, and especially the media department. There was a big confusion there, but thankfully that came out really it worked out really well.
Well, communication's key in that situation. You got a bunch of individuals who are working together for a 12 to 14 hour day, and let's be real, 50, 60, I would almost say 70% of these people never worked together.
Yeah.
There's probably a small 20-30% of them that actually worked together before.
Or it's the one time a year that they do work together.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It might be that one time of the year, or they've never. I've never worked with Joe and his group before. And they got to do this part of the festival, but it's got to be challenging. I mean, for us, as we're rolling in, and it's challenging sometimes to just try to do our regular routine from place to place, because each place is an individual and has their own set of rules. And
then you also got band rules on top of that. So
band rules.
Bands technically at the end of the day.
So here's like the sandwich of rules for media, right? First you have the venue rules. The next layer is the promoter rules.
Yep.
The next layer would be the band rules. Then, believe it or not, folks, security rules are on the top of all those.
It doesn't matter who you are, as we learned this weekend. No matter who you are,
matter.
The security can and will do what they have to do and to solve a situation, even if it's, let's just say, not the best choice at the very moment.
I would even have to say that the security being on top there, people would be surprised to say that they think, whoever a headband or whoever the person is that owns this festival or owns this venue, they're the person that's going to make the final call.
Exactly.
That's not how it works, unfortunately. If there is an incident to that level, the security at that point will communicate with whoever that owner / head person is. But at the end of the day, it's security that makes the final call on what the decision is. And You know, whether you're a fan getting ejected because you did something that you weren't supposed to, or something that you got caught up in some stuff and really you were just an innocent bystander that you're getting thrown out or whatever, or if you're, you know, media and you did something that you weren't supposed to do. Anyway, all these avenues, the security's doing what they're doing to keep all these people safe, right?
Keep the band safe, keep the fans safe.
And the security at the end of the day has to make in the moment decisions based on the safety of the whole.
Yeah, 100%.
So I guess you have to be calm and open-minded and understand that fact and get that if you're in these places and these people make decisions and you're involved in situations and decisions are made that you're not happy with, it's not going to help, number one, if you just start being a jerk. That never helps.
Sounds like you're talking from experience, man.
Well, yes, I'm 45 and I've been in this 30 years, so yes, I've done some things over my time, and then number two, you just got to remind yourself that the person is doing a job, and their job is to keep everybody safe at an event you chose to attend. So you need to ultimately, you want it to be safe. So
how did you? Let's get off the topic of the security for a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the band itself? I thought it was a different. It was weird that it had like a mixed genre. It had the hardcore music, like the Filled Traders, Gideon, and then you had more like the I guess you would call it like the what, like not maybe death metal in a way. There's a bunch of like heavier deathcore death metal bands, kind of mixing it up a little bit.
Well, this
I think that kind of separated. It created a casual atmosphere where everyone had something they liked. It wasn't everyone's just sitting around all day long waiting for one band. Every band had its own fans.
I agree with you there. A lot of the bands. People were there to see a wide variety of the bands. So
Casket Robbery, a lot of people were talking about them. That was the one with the female vocalist.
So that was my first set that I've ever seen personally. I'm not sure if our company has covered them before, but I know me personally, that was the first time I did. And I thought they did great.
Yeah.
It was great to see my buddy Daniel, his son, go up on stage with her and do the vocals.
13?
Yeah, he's done that with Fight From Within at Incarceration in the campground. They live in Ohio, so some local venues he's done that with. And I believe he's done it with Casket Robbery at a local venue.
Okay, yeah.
And that's how that all came about. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's the story.
Yeah, there was another band that knew them or something along those lines. They told us about it, but we got to talk to a lot. So
that was an amazing moment in their set that you'll remember. And it's something like you go to a festival and you see 20, 30 bands, whatever it is. Bands have to do something that makes them stand out from the other performances of the day.
Yeah.
And even if it's something small, like bringing a kid on stage and letting them rock out with you or whatever it may be, those are the things people are going to walk away and talk about your band. Oh, did you see Casket Robbery when they brought that kid up on stage? And that's just as good, bands, if you're listening, that's just as good as them playing your song on Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just as good.
We had that kid in the mosh pit for a band from Incarceration. Now that video is 300,000+ views.
Right.
People love seeing the kids involved because it's like the future generation carrying on the torch. And seeing bands do that for the kids and their families is next level. Even just recognizing and pointing them out from the stage.
Absolutely. And I think you can look at what we saw in Virginia a couple of weeks back with Fred doing that for Limp Bizkit. It was... he pulls kids out, pulled out that lady from Guatemala.
Crazy.
And, it's not just pulling kids on stage is not what's going to make people notice you. We don't want to misguide you there, but
no, but I think it's more the actual.
It's the point of doing something that's going to be different from the other 20 acts that day.
Yeah.
All right, so like you were saying, a variety of music, right? So yesterday we were at Michigan Metal Fest, right? So you're at Michigan Metal Fest. You have this variety of metal that in all different genres of metal. At the end of the day, when you get into the core components, you have drums, guitars, a singer playing this style of music.
Yeah.
So yes, every band has their own sound and it's different, but is there a point where it starts blending together when you're there all day? Is there a point where it was a great performance, but who was that?
Exactly.
And those little things that, like bringing a kid on stage to sing or having an interaction with the crowd, like I'll say Mikey from From Within back at Incarceration, he's going out
Black, they crowd surf.
Cultist Black yesterday. You know, all these little things are just moments that make your performance different than the other ones. And you know, it used to be throw a wall of death in there, everybody will remember that, and that worked, but now everybody does it.
Exactly. Yep.
You know,
that's one thing too. There wasn't as many walls of death.
It's
Gideon didn't even do one.
Didn't do one. Show business, you know, once people see you're hit with something, it's a bunch of sharks and they're gonna bite on you real quick.
Yeah.
So, like you said, I mean, I remember back in the day, and we're not talking that many years ago, and at the festivals, and you'd get one, maybe two walls of death all weekend, right? And now, yeah, you can almost say every other band, or almost every band's gonna do one somewhere in the set. So it's definitely not unique any longer.
Nailbite, they did the circle pit around the sound booth like Traverse the Abyss did.
Yeah. Traverse, I'm not sure if they quote unquote started it, but Traverse.
That's the one that I know of.
I remember seeing them do that at Incarceration, and it was cool. They tried to get it going at Eclipse Fest, but there just wasn't enough people to make it happen. And so yeah, Nailbite does it yesterday, which I was, you know, in the madness, so I'm not sure if it was successful. It seemed like it looked successful.
I was on stage taking photos and stuff, looking down on it.
Yeah.
It was definitely, it was happening. The pit was actually bigger than it needed to be, but I think that was because people were still funneling in at that point. And so by the time it got going, it was also by the time it started to end. But it definitely had a good 3 or 4 solid rotations around the sound booth. So that was pretty cool. And then what band had the giant wall of shoulder to shoulder swinging? Was that Nailbite or?
That
I saw you in the middle of it. Everyone had shoulders. There was a big long line. Oh, no, but
I don't know, but it was a good long line. It might have been Nailbite, wasn't it?
Because you were going real slow.
No,
it was that slow part.
And I was going to tell him to get a circle. See what I was going to tell him. Get in instead of doing that, you got in that circle. Then you could have got in the middle, like I did at Brewstock.
Yeah.
And you could have filmed all of us going around.
No, you could. Yeah. No, exactly. And I was just up on stage at that point, so.
Well, I can tell you that on a media side, we'll go on a different avenue.
Yeah.
I thought the VIP area that they had set up for us to take bands and do interviews, I thought that was very nice.
That was cool. It really kind of set up a, for the artists and us, the professional vibe kind of for the interview. Instead of having something silly in the background, it was promoting the show and also gave the artists like an actual spot to be.
Yeah, and let me say this. It's summer.
Exactly.
And it's the misconception that a tent with shade makes it cooler, but it doesn't. And you know, places like yesterday at Michigan Metal where they put all the fans inside the tents.
Yep, really made it nice.
It makes the tents usable in the middle of August.
You can feel it. You felt the change in it. It's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and I think one of the bands Or no, it wasn't one of the bands. It was Ashley from Michigan Metal Fest.
Yeah.
When I was
her Friday.
Yeah, when I was filming her pieces for the movie on Friday, she talked a lot about that's why bands like to come back, is because the bands feel that Michigan Metal Fest treats them very well in compared to other smaller festivals. And that's very important.
That was one thing that you guys covered for a while. It was how they want the hospitality of it to be a lot more than just, hey, come play the show. We're going to treat you like your royalty because you're making the show. And so there was full catering, all the support, special areas to keep the artists away, especially the ones like Coldest Black, for example. They couldn't come out at all because they had to be painted.
Correct.
So it's like they had their own spot to kind of hide in a way that was supposedly nice. I didn't personally go back there at all. So
I did not go back to the green room. We had permission to go back there and do some filming, but I think
personally, I think we all collectively agreed that we just kind of wanted.
Yeah, we kind of, when we had our Friday afternoon meeting to prepare, it was our final preparation meeting for Saturday. And we were talking, that topic was on the agenda, and we weren't told that we couldn't go back there, but I think we made almost an unwritten prison style kind of pact to just let the artists be back there on their own.
Yeah, like you don't want to get in their face and cause more headaches than it's worth. And at the end of the day, there are people too, and sometimes they just want to sit back and eat, because some of them are on tour currently, and this might be their only day that they can sit back and not worry about running around or trying to make their next appointment because they're just waiting around for the next set.
Yeah, and you said something there. So there are artists, we're on tour every day, we're going place to place. So here we are at one of our stops, and instead of this club or that club in the middle of this part of the city or that part of the city, they were in this arboretum park.
Beautiful
arboretum.
I spent time just going around the edges of the sidewalks, not even in the actual venue, just the edges of it, and just seeing all the wild landscapes, because they promote a lot of like wildflower growth there, so everything's like a natural. At first it's like, oh, it's not tame. No, it's just how it's supposed to look in that area. And it was really nice to see.
I can only say that I can imagine that was quite a change of pace when you live on the road and you're going from city to city to actually be in a beautiful park environment for a day for a change.
Yeah, and like some of the artists, like Phil's, were just hanging out down by the main stage all day with their merch. So it was good for them just to kind of sit down, relax, watch the fans, see the crowd, see what's happening beforehand.
I'm going to say this, that I was surprised yesterday with the amount of second tier bands that were at their merch booths.
Yeah.
When you go to the
Mushroom Head had it, one of their members at that place on stage was down there all day.
Yeah. And that's top tier. That's not second tier. Yeah. That's top tier.
Katie was down by their booth after their show for a while taking pictures.
So, to tell you that there's another reason that if you're in the market of festivals for next year, where are we going to go? Which ones? Man, I mean, their tickets were like $50, $65. And look, you're getting the artist down there. It's one day. If you want to go to a festival, but you don't have the personal schedule to invest 2 or 3 days, or you don't have the money to invest in 2 or 3 days, man, it's top tier to go for a one-day festival. What you're going to get for a pricier ticket.
Then they had great vendors, great drinks.
Vendors. Can we talk about the food?
Oh, yes, please. Big shout out to the On the Roll.
The Road. Is that what On the Roll?
Yeah.
On the Roll out of somewhere in North Carolina, was it?
That or Michigan. I don't know.
I don't really remember where they were at.
We got it all in the interview. We just had to go back and look at
on the roll, this lady
And her
owns
daughter.
this business, and she's got a truck. She's got a tent set up, so she's set up to do 2 separate events
They
the
were
same
doing
day.
two
Yeah,
the same
yesterday
day.
she was doing that's right.
They had one going on at the same time.
So all their food is homemade. It's all slow smoked, slow cooked barbecue. So they wanted to shine on some of their dishes. So Mark and I went over and did almost a cooking style show with them on their premiere dish. And it was a slice of toasted garlic bread. Then they put homemade mac and cheese on it. And then they put the roast pork from the smoker. And then they squirted some sauce on there. And holy cannoli, that stuff was another level.
Yeah. We literally just joined them at the table.
It was so
sat
good.
there and
Yeah.
ate food.
It was so good. We were like, we're going to use your chairs here. I moved their coolers over. And we just sat down in their booth. There's a line of people. People were like, oh, American Mom. We're like, yes, this food here is so approved by us right now. And the one dude was like, what are they? And she told me, he's like, that's what I want. Whatever they're eating, I want one of those. I was like, well, there you go. Your marketing works right there.
Say shout out, maybe future sponsor. Maybe I'm just kind of.
Yeah, because I will gladly have them at any event I would be at, because that was some of the best festival food. I don't even want to call them festival food. I just want to categorize them as barbecue.
There's technically a food truck, barbecue.
They just get the title of barbecue, and those women kicked ass.
Yep, it was the mother, daughter, and I think
a friend.
The friend that was helping the daughter when the mom was setting up at the other.
Yeah, it was mom's friend, and then the daughter was mom's daughter. And those 3 ladies were just getting the job done.
Yeah, like when we first met them, it was before the gates opened. They were raw dogging the chicken, just slapping it on the grill.
Yeah. So we first met them. The grill's rolling, and they are just straight up pulling out the chicken out of whatever it was been marinating and rubbed it, and it's going on the grill nice and raw, and we're just like, man, this is looking good. And
we totally invaded their space, though.
Yeah, and they're like, hold on, we want, because the owner wasn't there at that point. It was
the daughter and the friend.
Yeah, the daughter and whatever. And
hey, they did really good for an interview on the spot like that.
Yeah, and they were like, let me call the owner, because she would probably want to talk to you guys, and she's coming back later. And we were like, all right, sure. And so the daughter is on the phone, her cell phone, talking to the mom, who was the owner. And she's kind of stumbling a little bit with what she's trying to say. So I was like, here, let me just talk to your mom.
I need $2. Oh, you need $2.
She's like, yes, here, mom, talk to this guy. And she gives me the phone, and then me and mom and just start laughing, and we go over everything, and she's like, please come back. I will be back at noon. I want to talk to you guys. I want to feed you. We were like, all right, we'll absolutely be back. You want to feed us? Oh, and guys out there, she is single. So,
yep. When you first said that, I for a split second thought you were about to I was like, you are being a professional, and then now you're not. Please don't do this.
Yeah. See, I am in a relationship, so I behaved. But if I was a guy and I had my shit together, I wasn't a scumbag guy, and I was looking for a woman, man, that one there would be top tier on my list.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Is to die for.
Absolutely. So the next vendor we're going to talk about, it will be Adams Family Farms.
That's them. Yep. They saw our Instagram reel.
They did?
Yeah, I mean, a story. I saw their name pop up.
Okay. All right, we're ready. I know who it is. That's where we're leaving it there?
Yeah, because it picks up everything.
All right, let me just answer this, and away we go.
Yeah, they had a Puffco, a fucking dab rig, everything. And they did sanitize it each use.
They had juice too?
No, they sanitized it each time they used it too.
Okay, so next vendor of Michigan Metal Fest that I want to talk about was Adams Family Farms out of Michigan.
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorite vendors.
Mark loved that. We love the Adams Family Farm booth so much that we left Mark's crutches there.
Yeah, I left them fucking laying in front of the booth. Vin went up to find them.
I fucking went to the booth.
Couldn't find them.
It was so stern I couldn't find the crutches. They were literally sitting in the booth.
Right in front of the booth. Directly, you couldn't walk past them and not see them.
All right, so why was this our problem? Well, let's explain. Adams Family Farms is a marijuana farm. So they had a booth at Michigan Metal Fest, and this was a first for me. I've seen plenty of cannabis companies at festivals and concerts. That's not surprising. This is what was a first. Adams Family Farms was literally, folks, literally free dabs, free bong hits, free joints, free nugs in a bag, free juice, right? They have juice. And all you had to be is 21. That was it. State ID said you're 21. And then you selected, okay, you're 21. Do you want a dab? Do you want a bong hit? What do you want? Okay, I was like, all right, I want a dab. Yep, that's my style.
Even when I went up to find my crutches after I picked them up, the kid that was running there, he's like, yeah, after you worked so hard to get up here, do you want to smoke some quick? And he gave me another dab hit to go, and man, I felt great. It made the whole trip worth it.
So yeah, so he's like, okay, so this made it even better, right? Because he's all right. You want what do you want? I want a dab. Okay, great. Now he asked me, what would you like to dab? We have a selection.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking amazing. So,
and if you're a new smoker, they had a Puffco there, which is like a baby dab.
Yeah.
So it's not as strong and it won't kill you. Because I know if I would have hit the true dab, my lungs can't handle. I would have been dying on the floor.
Well, your buddy Vin went straight for the true dab.
I got it on film.
So I selected, I ain't gonna forget, it was Dark Vader. So folks, if you're a dabber and your dispensary or your guy has Dark Vader, I highly recommend it. So we dab the Dark Vader, it's great and all, and they're like, do you want another one? I'm like, well, what? Hey, welcome to Pennsylvania. We just crossed the state line. So we take another one, and then
I'm filming this whole time.
Yeah, and then they're like, here, do you want a joint to take with you? And like, I'm expecting like a regular size joint. These guys give me like a finger, man.
Yeah, it's like a gram and a half.
Yeah, like this thing take at least 2 or 3 roll of papers to roll this thing. And they're like, here's a joint. I'm like, this is a fucking joint, man.
And they passed them out to everyone.
Yeah.
So many people were smoking.
Yeah. So that was very unique, number one. And then number two, I never thought, like, I expected to buy it or pay $5 for a dab or something like that. I didn't know.
No, they were just freely getting everyone high.
Yeah, just free. Let's just get high.
Yep.
And that was absolutely amazing.
That was probably one of the biggest events that I've been to where that many people were probably high on weed, not crazy drugs.
Yeah. I can honestly say
everyone was happy. Everyone just it's the smell in the air. That just I loved it.
I can honestly say I don't feel like I saw a lot of people whacked out on all types of shit.
No, it was a very good mellow. There's a lot of kids.
Yeah, there was a good amount of kids.
There was at least 3 to 4 kids. Hell, at the very first band, I forgot the name, I apologize, but there was 2 kids going right at it in the very first pit that opened up. The one kid, your girlfriend Jamie calls the kid Monkey.
Yeah.
I forgot the mom's name and his name.
Yeah.
But they won tickets.
Did they win tickets from Beyond the Barrier?
Yeah, from Beyond the Barrier.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They won my 2 tickets that I had. Literally won it last minute right before coming, so I was really happy about that. I saw them on Upheaval, crowd surfing, going nuts, but anyway, him and another kid at his age were going shoulder to shoulder to the point where the one kid, who I found out was that was his first mosh pit ever, was to the point of vomiting on the side of the pit.
Oh yeah,
like
it was thrown up. And I know American Mosh Pit's got that on.
Oh
film,
yeah, 2 kids going at it so hard that it led to someone getting sick, which is just from the people.
Yeah, that kid was serious. Like, he had wrestling gear on his head.
Yeah,
he had a wrestling headgear on.
He was going hard.
That kid was ready to go.
His face was painted. He was all out for war.
You know, I thought, so you go to a big festival and there's a kabillion cartoon characters, right?
Yeah.
Out in the pit. And I felt like yesterday we saw a few.
There was more
I
paid
didn't see
actors
a
by
lot.
the what was the name of the sponsor?
Dark Acres.
Dark Acres. There's a lot of those characters, but no bananas, no bottles of any kind like we used to see, no like crazy outfits besides the occasional like metal outfit that everyone wears.
I'm gonna share a Vin take here.
Oh god.
It might. This will create some buzz because some people are gonna agree with this and some people
I think
are
you already
not.
said this before on another podcast.
I may have, but I think I'm going to say it again. I feel like cartoon characters in the pit, we have reached our coolness limit with it. And I think it's time to tone it back a little
Or
bit.
at least change it up. Change it to like a something that actually means something to the area. Like if someone shows up in an Old Bay bottle
at a show in Baltimore,
yeah, that to me is epic.
That makes sense.
Because you're showing the Baltimore. But if you're showing up in a fucking
a Bud Light bottle in Baltimore.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a banana, which nowadays there's 10 bananas in every Sonic Temple video.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's neat, but I'm kind of over it.
It's not unique anymore. It's not unique. So let's think about this for a second. I'm gonna list some reasons why no.
Smells like
One,
gas.
most, and everybody's gonna say, oh, but this festival. Okay, forget that. The statement is most.
Yeah.
Most music festivals are outside in the spring or summer.
Yeah.
Okay? Which makes the temperature usually warm. If you're moshing or in a dance pit and you've been in there for a couple hours and freaking Chiquita Banana rubs up next to you, it's gonna be like a sweaty, nasty gym towel is rubbing up next to you, right? That's so gross.
I'd rather have a sweaty skin contact than a wet, slimy shirt.
Yeah. And then, the other thing to that is some of these costumes, folks, when you go bigger outside of your body frame, believe it or not, you're actually at that point blocking some people's view.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's banana suits that have like a 1.5 tall cone at the top.
Correct, right? And then the last thing I'll say on that is what's that?
I say you become a target too.
That was the last thing I was going to say. You 100% took the words out of my mouth there. I feel like you will get people targeting you. Blast the banana, especially if they know companies like us, American Mosh Pits, they're here, they're filming this whole event.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna blast Captain Crunch across the room.
Exactly.
So.
Do you think that was some of the reason why some of the pits started getting a little wild yesterday at Michigan Metal? Because they saw people in the pit the entire time filming?
No. I disagree there. I say yesterday was wild because you had some really good hardcore bands there.
That too, yeah.
And the ticket price was affordable.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe they just saw like, oh, let's extra hype it up a little bit and go a little harder. And
that is a typical mindset, and our owner David preaches that when people know we're coming, they will fire it up more because they want their event to be clips on the internet and they want to see themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes it backfires, right?
Yep.
But I don't feel that was the case at Michigan Metal. I didn't have a lot of people. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll go back to Hershey Park like a year ago or something, and I went there for American Mosh Pits was Lamb of God and the Pantera, and people were coming up to us in the pit area and they were saying, oh man, you're here, great, we're gonna fire this up, we're gonna get you great food, blah blah blah, right? And then we get that as we go to different places. Oh, you guys are here, yeah. We didn't get that yesterday. People weren't like, all right, we're gonna fire these pits up. I think people just did their natural thing yesterday.
Yeah.
I think people just were there to get down and boogie. And
yeah, exactly. I mean, I can see that too, because I went out to the pit a few times to get videos and stuff, and it was definitely seeing the natural, how everyone was just kind of casually going at it, and then the casual, like everyone would purposely slow down and then pick back up again, and it was neat to kind of see that camaraderie as well, especially with like the how hardcore they were. You still saw the same etiquette and kind of compassion in a way, until someone takes it too far.
The one thing I'll say, and that maybe is what brought it up a little bit yesterday, is the temperature was up a bit for Michigan.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lot of accessible beer trucks.
Oh, too.
So I'm sure there was
like
a little
10
more
kegs on top.
Yeah, and I'm sure there was a little more alcohol consumption than usual, and that definitely, raises, drops inhibitor and raises your aggressions with the aggressive music.
Oh yeah.
So,
especially some of those bands like Filth and Traders, they were just absolutely just gnarly.
Dude, you can go early. I mean, think about this. Like, I'm gonna when I get my schedule, and now we're setting, these are interview times, and this is when we want you in the pit, and blah blah blah, right? So when I was looking at my schedule, and it says, okay, 3:30 is the nail bite set. That's when your official first assignment to be in the pit is, and all right, no problem. But as I said earlier, it was 11:34 in the morning, and I was in a, and it wasn't 3 or 4 guys moshing in the morning because it's the first band. There were like 20 people.
Yeah, people were fired up. They were
and it's 11:34 a.m. And I was like, man. So, again, I don't think it was getting into the trifecta of mosh that we marketed leading into it. I thought it was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
I talked to Nailbite right after their performance, and like everybody knows that, being that we sponsor them, we're at mega amounts of Nailbite shows, and I told them, I said, look, the set you did today,
one of the best,
was one of the hardest.
Yeah.
This was one of, because usually they mix a little bit more of their toned down stuff, and they just really went hard across the whole set, and the crowd reacted, really well.
Yep.
And I told them that, and I said, listen, you want to do some more stuff, guys, this is what you got to be. This is where you need to be at. And we might be seeing an all new Nailbite.
Yeah, hopefully.
You never know.
But I hope to see them do whatever it takes to get to where they want to be, because within the realm of keeping what they want to do too. So, and that's what I like Nailbite, because they're different. They're not that average.
Well, I'm going to bring this up. It'll be interesting. You're going tonight to see them at Love Drafts to cover that show for us. It'll be interesting tonight. Do they bring a heavier, hard set, or do they do the typical Central Pennsylvania Nailbite set?
I don't know. I mean, they are playing with Cultus Black, who also played at Michigan Metal. So they
Who
might,
also did a phenomenal
yeah.
job.
Oh, that set was great. That was the first time I seen Cultists on a big stage like that. I've only seen them on the small stage. So
You know, I saw them at Brewstock, which was an extremely small stage, and then I saw them at Love Drafts, which was a decent amount of people there that day.
yeah, Combi Christ. That was a
Yeah,
good show.
yeah. And then I saw them, I think, at Incarceration, maybe. But anyway, yesterday was one of their better performances, I thought, as well.
Yeah, the crowd really liked them. Everyone was jamming out. They sounded good. I think it's the bassist. Their one song they do, I think it's I Am Not, that they do a feature with Twisted.
Oh, yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah, a rapper from like the underground world with like ICB and all them. And the bassist does Twisted's part. And honestly, for me, I'm a Twisted fan. And when I heard him do it, that to me shocked me because it sounded so good. He sounded like he was supposed to sound.
You know where we lucked out with that, me and you?
Huh.
Because when we covered them back in April at Love Draft,
Yep.
they literally had released that song like
A week or two before.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a couple
Yep.
weeks, right? We were like,
That was the first song that I truly like listened to him when he told me, "Hey, we're gonna go do this band." I'm like,
yeah, we're
okay.
going to this band, and you were doing
I
your
put that
research,
song on,
right?
and I'm like, "Oh, this is cool."
And you know, the funny part about that is, I don't know if you know this or not, but that night at Love Draft was only like their second performance of that song.
Yeah, the bassist also did the same rap then.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was good. I mean, if you go to the video comments on Facebook, people were commenting on it like, "Yo, he did a really good job at that part. Like, Twisted's job was like that Twisted's part was really good."
I would be willing to bet if you go back and research, we were probably the first media company to interview them after that song was released.
Maybe it was definitely close.
Because we were so close, and and they were on the road.
Yep.
So unless anybody else, and here's the deal, another reason I'm safe to say that's a bet, because they were on the road as a co-headliner.
Yep, with Combi Christ.
Correct. So
I think it was Dead Animal Plant Assembly and one other band. I can't quite remember the name.
and Commie Christ had not been on the road in forever.
Yeah.
Before this tour, and any stops they were making in cities, and people wanted to interview and stuff, they wanted to talk to Commie Christ.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that I'm pretty confident that we probably were. Haha. Vin takes the cake. Oh, that was good. So Caught Us Black, that was a win. The other things I want to talk about is amenities. Easy, everyday stuff that some festivals seem to be able to take care of, and some festivals are not. So Michigan Metal Fest. We'll start with bathrooms.
Yep.
I felt that they had plenty of porta pots to go around.
Yeah, there's a whole island set up near the top entrance, and then I think I saw a couple extra in the back near the vendors as well.
How were the handicap amenities in the bathroom portion?
And they had one or two of the actual handicap ones, which is what most places have. When like of that size, they don't really need.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Right.
I mean, even Upheaval, they only had technically one true handicap stall, even though almost all of them were the same size, but that one was much bigger with the rails and all that stuff. But I did see a couple individuals like with wheelchairs yesterday, and the one guy, I wish I
I thought you were gonna say I seen a couple individuals like relieving themselves on the ground.
No. Speaking of the disability stuff, there was a couple of people that I saw in wheelchairs and scooters and stuff, as well as myself. And this one guy, I wish I caught his name, but he was a trooper, pushing his wheelchair up those hills, that one hill that in between the two stages, by himself up to the bathroom, by himself like a madman. And it was just that was awesome to see. At the same time, kind of sad to see too, because I wish there was a easier bathrooms for down there on the bottom.
Interesting.
That's my only complaint there.
Is Beyond the Barrier going to be doing a review?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, as much as I enjoyed it, of course, I'm going to pick apart some things, but,
Well, you should. That's your job, right?
Exactly.
I think it would only be fair to your audience if you did it fairly.
Exactly. So like that, like I feel like there should have been bathrooms down there. Like, well, you know where the merch guy trailer was?
My merch guy?
Yeah. There should have been some somewhere down there, maybe like 2 or 3 set up. So people, bathroom, portage potteries or whatever, just so that people had the option if they're right there. So especially the disabled members, not having to go all the way up to the top of the property where the porta potties are. That's a far hike.
I think one of the things I want to talk about while we're on disability here with Michigan Metal Fest, and I don't think this is necessarily, it might not be something related to Michigan Metal Fest, but it might be, because you're going to be the expert that tells us that. So the Scoot.
Yeah.
We were running out of battery power.
Mine's a piece of shit.
No, just hold on. Just hear me out first. The Scoot, we're running out of battery power.
Yeah.
And then we're having to go back to
The
Mark's van, which is equipped with some electric and things like that.
Apparently that sucks.
Is a event like that is like their ADA requirement to have charging for disabled vehicles?
See, I think they do, but they just didn't like announce it because someone even offered me if they wanted me to plug it in down by the media EMS.
Oh, that's cool.
But at that point, it was like, oh, my charger's already up by the car. I mean, there's no sense in trying to go up and back. And
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they would offer that to anyone that had it or needed it.
Okay.
But I just don't think they announced it because honestly, that stuff gets abused, and everyone in the mother would be like, "Can I plug my phone in? Can I plug my phone in?" So it's, but they should personally. I think they should have a charging area like that or an ADA charging station. But then again, do they pull in that many members that would require it, or are they not pulling them in because they don't announce that they have that stuff?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't technically an ADA viewing platform anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'll give them this: the way the stages are set up,
you didn't
need them because the grounds were almost kind of like an amphitheater setup. They were in a lowered hill kind of deal, so there was a flat ground in front of the stage and then you're on a hillside in the back. So if you wanted to sit up top where the sidewalk was, you can see the entire stage and the crowd and then some, and it'd be fine.
There's no complaints about not being able to see anything, that's for sure.
And that one wheelchair fella, I noticed a lot of the crowd put him right up.
Did you say that one wheelchair fell?
Fella.
Oh, fella. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm picturing somebody rolling down the hill.
Oh no! I rode that scooter down that hill down by the Denver Derby car.
Wait, did you roll like?
No. I just like went down it, and I got a little nervous at first, but
I'm thinking like barrel rolled down.
I didn't drink this weekend. Well, during the show, so I didn't drink during the show, so I didn't have any issues like that.
And if you are out there and you are a Scoot company, or you know one, and you want some massive free promotion, we need a new or slightly used Scoot.
That has big fucking wheels.
That has big fucking wheels that we can get across festival grounds. Please contact American Mosh Pits or Beyond the Barrier, and we will get you hooked right up. Now, there was something else. Oh, you brought up my merch guy.
Yeah, that dude. He is. Which I do want to apologize now. I already talked to him for you at the stage due to the technical challenges in the evening.
Yes.
We weren't able to finish off that video we planned.
Yeah.
And I found him, and what they ended up doing was they brought him up during Trader's set.
And did you get the second part?
Kinda. I gave my phone off to his friend
we'll
to
figure
film.
it out.
So we're not quite going to get that edit we wanted, but I at least wanted to apologize that we couldn't do that for him, even though we tried.
And you tell him Vin is slightly held up right now.
Yeah, I just told him we ran into complications. Vin isn't able to get here. And the festival had him come up during their set, not before.
Okay.
So it was kind of one of those, like, well, we're not going to have him get in the middle of the stage at that point.
Yeah.
So he was off to the right of the stage, shooting a bunch of shirts out, which is cool. And
So
traders called him out for it, like, hey, get up here and do it, and yada yada. So
you
it was really
just
cool.
said what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So my merch guy is obviously pretty easy to figure out what he does. He makes merch
for the
of all different
people.
anything you need.
And I actually asked him at one point throughout the weekend, I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
He makes merch for anybody in any company or anything.
Yeah,
so
he's not just for
if you want to
music
build a
or
shirt just for
band.
yourself because you
He'll
like
make it
to
for
make
your lawn
shirt,
care business.
Exactly.
He'll make it for your Cub Scouts, whatever.
or just a private one-off shirt. You want to make a shirt because in lovely memory, boom, you like
Yeah, or you like got the family reunion
and he
coming
apparently
up.
makes he did make or makes the merch for I think the one gentleman said Puddle of Mud is one of their bands that worked with them in the past, and I thought that was kind of cool.
I wonder if that guy got locked up before he paid his bill. Anyway.
Let's not touch that subject. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
Anyway, so the reason I brought him up, he had, you'll go to events and they have the t-shirt gun.
Yep.
He designed t-shirt cannon bazookas.
Yeah, literally
on your shoulder, like you're lining up a tank. And you shot the t-shirt out of the bazooka.
Up to 100, I think it's at 100 feet.
Yeah, up to 100 feet. And
I'm pretty sure I saw it go farther at one point. At one point, it looked like he went over the crowd when he shot one.
it was
intense.
One of the most entertaining things you'll see is t-shirts being shot from a bazooka, and people, instead of running from the shells falling from the air, literally fighting over them.
There was a dog pile during, I think it was Them Fighting Words. Or
Them Fighting Words,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
One of them threw a shirt out. I don't think
People will kill their
there
mom
was
for a
at
free
least
t-shirt.
10 people all piled on top of each other. A lone warrior,
Yeah,
this soldier of a girl,
yeah.
at the very
Female.
bottom. She was in the pits all day long. All day long. She had like a reddish brown hair, had a band t-shirt on. I don't remember which one it was. But she was in the pits all day long, and during that dog pile, she's in the very bottom, straddling this shirt like it's a horse on her back, holding on to it for dear
It was
life, while
insanity.
people all trying to yank her off, jump on top. It was the most violent thing I've seen in a while.
It was insanity.
Over a t-shirt, and she ended up coming out on top with it. She came crawling out.
Wait. They had a couple of years ago, Psycho Stick was there, did the sombrero, and they had a similar thing. Maybe it's something that happens at Michigan Metal Fest.
Maybe
Maybe
that ground, although beautiful, has something in the dirt that kind of
yeah, and
makes
if a
everyone,
band throws out a piece of apparel, people just start
Foaming at the
changing
mouth.
into werewolves or some shit. I don't know, but it's definitely something that happens there apparently.
Oh.
And I'm trying to think. There was a couple other things that I saw that really... my merch guy had those massive beach balls. They were cool. And I know like Hatebreed's doing those now with the ball of death, if you've seen that.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, and that's very similar to what he had there.
Yeah, and then during the some of the bands, they brought out a bunch of oversized beach balls and were kicking them around. And
There was a lot of beach balls during Filth and a lot during Nailbite. I remember that.
Yep. Beach balls. The one band had confetti.
It's hard to do confetti outside.
Yeah, but they did a good job of it. I was surprised. They had 4 or 5 people come out into the photo pit and right at the end of the set and blast it.
Yeah. I always feel like doing confetti should be reserved for indoor shows,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I'll give you an example. I was at Day to Remember in Baltimore back in June.
Yeah.
when they released that confetti inside of that
Oh God, yeah.
indoor arena,
Because then it rains perfectly down.
it was like rain. It was
Exactly.
like a rain,
The
and
wind
it went
doesn't
on
take
for
it.
minutes.
Yeah, the wind doesn't take it anywhere. It goes right directly where it needs to be. And
When they shot the confetti last night, I mean, I didn't even know they shot it until you brought it up, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, they did do that.
yeah, from my angle, it looked cool. But then again, I was underneath of it, so.
Yeah, you were right up on the front. You were right underneath of it. And that's why, you saw it the best. I think you, as an artist or as a promoter, you got to adjust your show and set for that, right? You have should have certain, and they might do. I don't know, but you should have certain props and certain scenarios set up for indoor and outdoor only. Because it's not all going to work the same.
No, for sure.
So it's, I mean, as an artist and as the tour director and special effects and all that stuff,
Yeah.
I can only imagine that your nightmare is outdoor shows because of weather, number one.
I heard a lot of complaints, not complaints, but like Friday night stage hands and stage crew working with sound and lighting.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fires that they were trying to put out between two, trying to deal with two stages, two different systems.
Oh, yeah, I'm
outside
sure.
being one stage having one thing so far away while the other one's different hookups. Bands.
Oh, I'm sure.
I heard some bands brought their own hookups, so some of them had to like borrow each other's hookups because the festival didn't have the ones they had. And
You know what else is a nightmare in that situation I've learned? Is the wireless frequencies.
Yep. I didn't hear as many sound issues yesterday though as other festivals. I was gonna say other shows really.
Mhm.
There wasn't too many times where I heard a lot of sound distortion or that high pitched frequency noise that we get.
No, that's not what I'm referring to. Like, I've heard musicians that, my friends or talking to people in interviews or whatever, but when everybody's using wireless instruments at this point,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
wireless.
Now you get
So, then they have frequencies that connect the guitar to the board or to the amp or however the hell. I am not a music sound guy at all, so people that are probably laughing their asses off right
I have
now.
zero
Like, this guy knows nothing.
music ability, so yeah.
Yeah, but maybe that played into some of the problems. I don't know, but I know that's a hot topic.
Yeah,
Going
I did
into-
ask the guy about the sound production stuff. I think it was one of the guy that runs all the stagehands.
Yeah.
And he did say that the main stage sound producer or sound production or whatever I don't know what the title is, but the soundboard man.
Soundboard man.
I don't know what the title is. Sorry. Anyway, I did do a quick little interview with him when I was filming stuff, and I got the name of the company they run for. But they said Michigan Metal Fest said that was the best company that they've worked with for sound for that stage at least. I don't know about the second stage, but that guy.
I'm trying to remember.
He knew what he was doing. He knew how to solve issues. He was fixing problems left and right. I heard someone say that one of the workers said something to Steve saying, "Hey, make sure you bring this guy back again because he was the best compared to past people in years past." So kudos to Steve picking the right guy for that.
Do you remember seeing where the sound booth was at stage 2?
I think up top near one of where that vendor was, that Creatures venue, Nail Bites friend.
Oh, with the clothes?
I think it was up there somewhere. But that's too far, maybe, so I don't know.
No, there was her. There was like a band there. That Second Sound
Yeah,
was
you're
up
right.
there.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know where the sound booth was. And even remember I was on the side stage and then I was actually up on the stage with them fighting words.
Yeah.
And
it sounded good.
Maybe they were running that shit to the main booth on the other side. I don't know.
And that would be tough. I don't
know how they were doing it.
I guess doable, but tough. They had somebody there in front of the stage doing the manuals up on the iPad. That's what they mostly do now. They have an iPad that can control most of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember when I emceed Eclipse Fest.
Yeah.
And you had 2 stages and 1 sound booth.
Yeah.
And that guy was busy, but it worked really well. And I mean, they were feeding everything for both stages into that one booth.
Yeah.
So quite possibly, I mean, again, I don't know, I'm not a sound guy, but quite possibly that's how they could have done it.
I do vaguely remember at Eclipse someone saying that the one stage sounded better than the other stage. So I'm wondering
that
if
was an issue.
I'm wondering if that's a common occurrence. If it's two stages on the same booth, maybe one does sound better than the other just naturally.
There was no professional sound company at Eclipse.
Yeah, it was just someone that could do it, that knew how to do it, and did his best.
I don't know if that's really an issue or if it's just something maybe someone who's more of a master at that craft has to handle. But
I only know one sound engineer.
At the end of the day, you are right. The front stage by the front door sounded way better than stage 2 over by the back door.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it sounded great, but I could tell there was a difference.
Yeah, and you know, here's the. I like that venue.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Moon Ballroom was nice.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good setup, and you know, we recently just worked out a deal with Eric, and we're going to be going back up there.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Coming up with a nice holiday themed event with a nice feel good component tied into the event. So stay tuned. But man, let's talk about. I want to talk a sidebar here real quick.
Yeah, put a pin in that shit.
Can we sidebar? It's gonna be rocking in central Pennsylvania in November and December, right?
Yeah.
Like us alone, I'm gonna start with November 1st. Boom. November 1st, we're at Love Drafts for Miss May I,
Yep.
which is gonna be massive. They're
Yep.
probably gonna sell, that's probably gonna be sold out.
100%.
Then, after November 1st, November 16th, Central PA again, we're in Scranton, for Norma Jean
Yep.
at the all-new Ritz Theater by Josh Balls.
Yep. That's going to be a really fun one.
And we are, all access at that event. It's going to be amazing. Then, what is it? 2 weeks after that, we're back in central Pennsylvania, which would be Thanksgiving weekend in Reading
Yep.
at the Santander Arena for the sold out, no more tickets available, Saturday showing of Pierce the Veil.
That's going to be a really fun
7,000 people, and we will be covering that show. I don't know if Friday. I haven't tracked Fridays.
Do I need
show.
to buy tickets for that?
What's that?
Do I need to buy tickets for that?
No, you're
Okay.
covered. You're
I
all
couldn't remember.
covered with
I got
me.
a little nervous.
You're all covered. I know when it says sold out,
I was
you're
like,
like,
oh,
damn
shit.
it! I hope I'm covered
Like, what
because.
did I do?
Well, no, you are. I took care of you. So, I don't know about Friday's show, folks, because I haven't followed Friday at all because we were, from the very beginning, we were on Saturdays because we knew Saturday was going to be the one.
Yeah.
And I believe, 100%. Jamie, the Traveling Beat Girl, my girlfriend's coming up for that from Michigan, too.
The Pierce
So that'll
Mail
be good.
show.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
Pierce the Veil show. She'll actually be at a bunch of those shows.
Yeah, that's cool.
So then we go 2 weeks later and we'll be doing this event that we just signed on with Eric. And there's more details to come. I just don't want to release too much about that yet.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
then...
I know I had a lot of fun the last time we went up to meet Eric, so.
yeah, and this is gonna be good. So then 2 weeks after, and look, again, we're still all in Central Bay. We haven't left Central Pennsylvania, folks.
Yep.
Then 2 weeks after that is the creme de la creme, the crowning moment of Central Pennsylvania's metalcore events.
Yeah.
Christmas Burns Red.
That's going to be in Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Close
2
to
days.
home,
This is your
finally.
first. This is your first one, right?
Yeah, first Christmas Burns Red.
All
I've
right.
seen a lot of the bands on the lineup, but seeing them all together at one time, back 2 nights in a row, is going to be mine.
You don't see all the bands back to back.
No, I know, but I'm just saying I've seen these bands before.
Oh, okay.
And each night I've seen almost all of the bands on the lineup at least.
Oh, okay. I get what
before.
you're saying. I was
So being
confused.
able to see them Friday night and Saturday night, respectively, it's just going to be like a new but fun experience. And
Yeah,
it's
you
like
know.
a festival without being.
No, it's a festival all day long. Don't fool yourself.
Oh no, I'm talking like this, but without it's like a festival without the Sonic Temple Festival.
And, it's. I don't know how to explain it. All I can say is you got to go. This will be my 3rd or 4th Christmas Burns Red, and I always go both days. And to see that many people inside the inside the Lancaster Convention Center.
But it's all indoors.
Yeah, it's all
That's
indoors.
kind of what I'm getting at. It's like it's the same size and vibe, but yet we're indoors, and it's more of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a club vibe, but yet in a festival setting.
And
It's
let me
like-
tell you what, August Burns Red does some mind-blowing special effects that night inside that convention center.
Oh, I bet.
Because, of course, you know, it's their Christmas show, so they're mixing in some of their Christmas songs from the Christmas album. But just overall, in general, they really put together a hell of a special effects show for that 2 days. And it's really good. So, that's your...
What's your guesses on the mystery band that still hasn't been released yet?
I have my guesses, but I don't want to lay one down yet. I would rather put my guess out to the public knowledge. I'll give you December 1st.
Yeah.
Well, wait, because they might do it by then. I'll tell you what. This is the end of August. I will put my mystery band out there sometime in September. How's that? Because they probably won't release it until October. So
Yeah.
I'll put mine out in September. But I have 2 bands that I feel it's going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. I'm going to give everybody this. I don't have any contacts with the Lancaster barn burner group there. So that is one cut of musicians and bands that I don't have an inside track on, and I can't tell you that, yes, I have inside information on it, because I don't. So what I'm going to base my guess on is strictly my own knowledge. So we're going to see how good I am.
There you go.
How about that?
I guess that's an answer.
So now when Christmas Burn Red ends, I will go on vacation and we'll stay off the road until mid to end of January, beginning of February. That's what I do every year.
Yeah.
I just
You
gotta,
need a break.
Yeah, and
You
I
need a break, catch up.
yeah, and you know that's a good time. Like my parents are older, and they're you know holidays are special to them because they're older. So to be there, do some stuff with them. This will be the first year that Jamie is coming to meet my parents for a holiday. She's coming in for Thanksgiving, so
There you go.
that'll
That'd
be cool.
nice.
So you know it's always good to because I mean people don't know this, but I work a day job and a night job, right? So my day job, I'm a sales rep for a company, and I cover 2 counties of a state, and I drive probably an average of 200 to 250 miles a day in my day job, and then at night I clock in for American Mosh Pits, and you know we'll rack on, you know, if I'm going to an event we'll rack on another 200. So
I mean, shit, we're doing over 900 right now, so.
yeah, and the reason we left so early today is because I gotta be at work Monday morning. I got a customer for my day job that's important. I go see him at 8 a.m. So I mean, the little break for me is well deserved.
Oh, yeah.
When that comes.
I mean, everyone deserves it too. I'm sick and tired of editing.
Yeah, you know. It's,
and I do it also for my own page and business, so it's also like I'm doing double time all the time.
yeah, you know.
So
you
like,
just,
even when like during September, there's shows that I'm doing throughout September and November just with you guys as also myself, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do 2 that week. Oh, 3 that week. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta watch that.
Oh, I know, but these are the ones that I've done before, and I know what they were expecting.
Early in my career,
Nothing that I can't
listen to
handle.
me. Early in my career, I took the philosophy on that every show was a good show, and that the more I could do, the better it would be for me starting a career in this, right?
Oh yeah.
And I got to the point, right, where me and you were talking about the other day at the hotel, where you've been to so much shit, and you got so much shit that's great footage and great content, but eventually you have to have time to go through it and get it cleaned up and get it presentable and get it out there. And you got promoters and band people.
Like I prioritize the ones that I know I need to get done.
They're
right
breathing
away.
down your neck on these deadlines. Hey, you know, you told us 5 days after the show, it's 4. Are you ready? You know, and it's sometimes more is less.
Oh, I know, and I've learned that, especially over the summer. I've learned that quickly, and that's why I pick and choose the ones that I know I'm capable of, or like the ones I've done before. So now I know exactly what I'm doing and know exactly what I'm expecting. I can get it done within the 1 day and be done with it out of the way. There's nothing I don't have to fight or learn to do or anything like that. So, like for example, the same day as Silverstein, I'm doing Lives Lost, but I've done Lives Lost 5 other times now, so I know I had exactly what I'm looking for, and I can do them quickly and get them done the next day.
Yeah, it's routine at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Which that's also going to be awesome. Going from Lives Lost to Silverstein at another venue, same evening.
Yeah,
15 minutes apart. That's the
is
beauty
going
of
to
it.
be fire, right?
2
That
venues,
is
15 minutes apart.
Sold out to the back door. 550 tickets gone. No more coming in. And it's a Friday night. And Nick put it together. I highly recommend 717 Entertainment Events. I always do.
Definitely one of the best promoters I've worked with.
Well, you know, it's crazy because people are like, oh, yeah, you push all these events because you guys are partners and you have to. And, okay, yes, you're right. When you sign a partnership, you have responsibilities, right? That's any partnership or relationship you get in your life, whether it's personal, sexual, business, it doesn't matter. In order for it to work, each party involved has to do the things that they've been brought to the table to do,
and
right?
it's even easier to do
so
it.
That's common sense.
Yeah, and it's easier to do it when you actually respect and like what the other person's doing.
But this is not communist Russia. Nobody knocked on my door and said, you shall partner with 717 Entertainment.
Exactly. We liked what he did.
You shall push them. That's not how it worked.
No,
right?
we liked what he did. He liked what we did.
Yeah.
And
we
together,
were like, you know, if we created a team together, we'll probably sell a lot of tickets and create some movement in the music in this area. And damn if we haven't.
It's starting to form. It's getting there.
Our 2024 partnership went so well that we have the meeting in October scheduled to plot the 2025 partnership calendar.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be wild.
So you don't schedule the calendar meeting unless you're very happy.
Exactly.
Right? You know, if you're not happy, the meeting is, we're going to discuss what we're doing going forward.
Yeah.
And then, you know, all right, there's going to be some changes coming, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something's happening right now.
That's the good news there. Nick's extremely happy. We're extremely happy. And I have a feeling you're going to see a lot bigger things from this partnership in 2025.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I really don't know what yet. yet, but I know it's going to be
Knowing
something.
Nick, he's going to be doing some big things. He's got some big things in the works. I'm not going to speak for him, but we had a good conversation the one night. I know he's got some big plans coming. So
the only thing that I'm going to say, and Nick is one of my really good friends, so I know if I say this, he wouldn't get upset, is Nick is one of the smartest business people in the industry that I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's what originally attracted me to his business when I met him and we interacted a few times. And Love Drafts is not the only place he can throw an event if he needs more space.
Yeah.
So, you just got to keep following 717 Entertainment and American Mosh Pits, because I'm telling you now, he's probably going to do some things that are going to be like, wow, that dude really took it to the next level. That's my thoughts.
Oh, yeah. I truly see it happening.
So,
I mean, he did just win a huge award.
Promoter of the Year
Yep.
for Pennsylvania Music
Yep.
Guild. That
And
was amazing.
That's step one. Then step two is Promoter of the Year East Coast. And then Nation. Like, who knows what's next? And I think he can do it.
It's crazy because when I first met Nick, him and I didn't know each other from Adam, right? And we clicked very well the first meeting and the first show. And then we sat down and did some brainstorming, and we really were like, wow, we're really on the same page. And there's been challenges that we faced together as business partners that we've had to make decisions on together.
I mean, that's any business. But
And what's that?
That's any healthy partnership.
Yeah, and we've always been able to do that professionally and do that with everybody feeling like it was a good decision that we came up with. And Nick's events are always organized. He always has his shit together. And that's something that you don't always see in the entertainment side of the music industry.
Just in my short time, I've
so that's
seen
a healthy factor right there.
Yeah, just in my short time, I've seen that kind of thing where some promoters and other events are just so shoddy that it's shocking that it's even happening.
Yeah.
And then other times I'm like blown away at how professional it is. And it's not the big shows. It's not the big giant shows at the Fillmores or anything like that. You expect them to run smoothly. That's what you get. But when it comes to these festivals or smaller venues or anything like that, you can get people that think that you can just throw money at something and it's going to make money.
It's not how it works.
And exactly. And then Nick is the exact opposite. He knows how to use his money and brain to really put together something that's fun, safe, and at the end of the day, working, because obviously he's working. He's killing it every time.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He gets it together every time. And
bands have nothing but love for him. They always say they like him so much.
Bands always enjoy working with Nick. They say he's
a lot of bands come back for
comfortable. Tons of repeat business. Everybody feels like he has control of the situation and it's organized, and he makes you feel comfortable. And he's a good guy. His wife's a nice lady. It's good people. It's really good people. And I'm proud and humbled to have him in my life. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he definitely gave me a big opening from the start.
Yeah.
He was one of the first venues that let me shoot for a show.
Yeah.
I had no right to shoot just because the bands were way out of my league, but he said, no, you can go ahead and do it. And next thing I know, I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. I'm shooting bands that I never thought I would be shooting. So I was like, and that was a good way to learn too. So
I'm going to give you a idea of Nick's character. So there's obviously other music venues within driving range of Love Drafts, right?
Couple attractions, but yeah.
There's times I've sat with Nick and said, listen, I got a cover this event at this place, and I just wanted you to know about that before you start seeing promotions and things like that, because I know that's in your territory and stuff like that. And he's always like, Vin is like, I want to see your business grow.
Yeah, business is
just
business.
like you want to see mine. You know, he's like, you're not, you know, stabbing me in the back or going behind me because you're doing a show over there. He's like, you know, he's like, so I don't want you to feel that way. So that's the type of character that the guy has, you know, and I just feel like we definitely partnered with the best one that was in the area.
Oh,
and the one that'll be there for a long time to come.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't see him going anywhere, and I'm just going to see him get bigger and bigger, and we're just going to keep working with him because it's helping in every direction, and it's also just fun. I know every one of his shows, I enjoy it, and whether it's small or big, it's just a fun time to be around, so.
You know, speaking of venues in central Pennsylvania, I know I haven't been to HMAC in quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a few months for me.
I feel like they just haven't had a whole lot going on.
That's where I'll be doing that Lives Lost.
Ah, okay. Is that in the main hall or?
I think it's the main one, yeah.
The big theater upstairs?
Yeah, because they're the opening band for one of the other bands. I think it's like Dead by April.
Okay.
Yeah, because they originally were scheduled for back in April, but then they had to cancel for I think sickness or something.
That's surprising because like I saw Nonpoint there, and it's a pretty big band.
Yeah, I think it's just all about ticket sales.
And they had them in the
I think their building's all about sales.
room
So
downstairs.
they start them below, and then if they sell enough tickets, they move them up top.
Wow.
So I think it just all depends on what they get. I could be wrong, but I don't remember what it said. I haven't looked. I'm kind of hoping it's not downstairs because from a photographer standpoint, I've heard nightmares about the downstairs lighting, so I'm like not looking forward to that at all.
The downstairs is like going back in high school and partying in your buddy's basement that he converted to the party room.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's not unprofessional. It's just that's the vibe that you get.
The upstairs is the big ballroom that can host a
The
big
upstairs
giant crowd.
is the professional concert hall, per se. And the downstairs, like we said, is just, it feels like you're partying at your buddy's house.
Yeah, it's like the local band area, but it still has potential to have that 300 to 400 people.
I saw Nonpoint in that room.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's a pretty good sized room.
They also do them at the same exact time too, so like you can finish up a show upstairs and go catch the rest of the show downstairs.
They book shows in the upstairs and downstairs on the same day?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That
There's probably a lot of people there.
Oh, it gets packed. They really do. And I do like it. There's some things I would fix about it, but the one thing I love about it, just like Love Jazz, for example, they let you eat and drink and stuff before the show.
Right. The bar that's there is open 7 days a week.
Yeah, it's a restaurant bar.
Yeah.
And I love that because when I come to a show, I like going early and getting lunch or dinner prior to before going because I'm not paying for that food.
That bar, restaurant, whatever it is, specifically right there by the pool tables, that's usually where I meet the band or band representative for, you know, doing a conversation with Vin or whatever we're going to do. And we're doing
it's a good place to meet people just out of the ordinary. Just sitting down there, I met band members coming down all the time, getting drinks for the band and stuff like that. So it's a neat place. That's why I like that vibe. Same thing with Love Jabs. The amount of times after a show I sat at the bar and members of the bands that just played came over and sat down and just drink with us. Yeah. Crown the Empire of all bands.
Oh, that's cool.
They all came out to the bar and hung out until closing.
Aren't they playing somewhere close?
They just played Baltimore. They just played it the other night.
That's over?
Yep, it was like 2 or 3 nights ago. I wish I wanted to cover it, but then we were doing this weekend Michigan Metal Fest, so I was like,
Marky, you can't hit them all, buddy.
I know. Now, I did do Crown the Empire in the past, so it was kind of like a opportunity to do it again.
That was a sellout for Nick.
Yeah.
When he had them there.
It was him. Yep, it was him. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good show.
He does good with sellouts.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 550 tickets is not an easy task. People are like, he's only selling 550 tickets.
Not in our location either.
I want to see anyone that says, because he's only selling 550 tickets, I want to see you do it.
That location, too, person coming from me, I live in that central York, Harrisburg area. And so with that kind of, the way the metal scene is there is, it's a big active rock metal scene, but none of them, there's a huge percentage of them that won't go to anything besides their top 5 favorite bands. So a lot of them only go to Memphis Mayfire or Asking Alexandria, that kind of stuff. So when you go, so the way Nick does it and somehow is able to pull in a big crowd in that area at a smaller venue is something that is not seen often.
Well,
not in that area. It's from what I see, because I live there and see it all the time. It's not the area that has that kind of vibe ever. I can't even name a single.
I don't remember.
There's not even a single rock bar, like the bar with like a punk rock vibe, like every city has in that area. I don't know of one besides Love Drafts. I can't think of another one to.
Okay, so you're a local for the area.
Yeah.
Now you might be too young to answer this question, but you may be old enough. What was happening at Love Drafts before 717 Entertainment started coming there all the time?
See, that's the thing I couldn't really tell you.
Okay.
Because my whole music career choice and likely, I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, because you would have been a teenager.
I've only
when
just
Nick
started getting into all this a year ago, maybe. That was my first live metal rock
Nick's
show.
been like 10 plus years.
The only thing I know of is what I see now, but also
I see.
gauging what I see about this area, the people I know, and how people are towards this music. So I know it's like the way the people's mentality is in Pennsylvania. It's not the most friendly when it comes to rock and metal, but yet the people that do like it, it's such a strong community that they come together. It's just,
you know what though, I challenge you for a second, because I watched the film Lancaster Barn Burner when that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
And that was an excellent film, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And then number 2, it showed the openness of Lancaster County to this style of music because it was their children.
Yeah, exactly.
It was their people.
So it's there. I think it's spread out that it's hard to pull them together. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
This area is so spread out. It's from York to Harrisburg, it's 30 miles. From York to Baltimore, it's another hour and a half drive. So all the stops is spread out, and the fans are spread out. So it's very hard to get that kind of gathering unless it's a big thing. So Nick somehow pulls it together and is able to do it without those giant names, and people that think do it because of him.
Right.
And his ability to know that it's going to be a show.
Well, I would imagine, Mark, they don't give you the promoter of the year trophy unless you know what the fuck you're doing.
You're telling me some Jack in the Box can't get it?
Well, I mean, that's all I can think.
I don't know.
I can tell you this too. Early on for American Mosh Pits, we were discovering our identity as a company. And we were trying to we knew our core was our mosh pit videos. And David had an idea and a dream that he wanted to start branching out in other media directions with it. But we didn't really know, where or what. We had some rough ideas. And with that being said, we started trying different things, and certain things worked, certain things didn't work. And it was a learning curve by all means. But once you figured out the direction that you were headed, and you could focus your energy on that direction, it made life a lot easier.
Oh yeah, and I'm definitely seeing an uptick in that kind of, like, we got our ideas together, and even this weekend David kind of gave the go-ahead on ideas that we've been settling on, just trying to kind of wait for the right time. And
ironically, we already had the equipment we needed in the AMP warehouse.
Just chilling.
Ready
Fingers
to go.
crossed, it's exactly what we need, and we'll be able to basically just buy like minuscule things and get going. Which secret what it is? We're not telling you what it is yet. Which this episode will probably give you an idea. So shh.
Yeah, there's some secrets coming, some new projects on the horizon, and man, it'll be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a good ride.
Oh yeah. Well, basically, what I look at it is we're going to throw a lot of darts at the board, and my goal is to get a bunch of them to stick, and then continue to branch out from there. That's kind of how I see it. Like, I don't want to. I just want to like see what we can get, put the feelers out, and grab as much as we can from audience to fans to new friends. I mean, shit, we went Daniel and his family. That was simply a fan turned into, I would say, a friend in a way now.
Yeah.
That we'll always see now any show in Ohio or
in the
Michigan.
Mid-Eastern United, or what the hell is that?
I don't
Central, Middle United States?
Somewhere over there. Somewhere far away that I'm not trying to drive to on a basis.
Only when we have to. But it gets you to where you gotta go, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm always surprised that we don't have some type of metal festival in the Mid-Atlantic. Or, I mean, you have New England Metal Fest. A lot of people say, well, that's way up there.
Yeah, that's like north of, what is it? North of New York.
Yep. And then some people say, oh, we have Rockville. Well, that's way down there.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing like truly big festival-wise, like.
Yeah, and it surprised me because Firefly.
Like, for example, there's not even a Michigan Metal Fest styled festival around Pennsylvania, Jersey, besides like Lancaster with the.
And hear me out here.
Dreads.
Firefly did extremely well in Dover, Delaware.
I heard
10 years,
about that.
I think it was.
I heard about that one. That was before my time.
Well, as a Delawarean, I saw it, with my own eyes. And when they decided, because Firefly was owned by the people that own Coachella.
Yeah.
And they decided after 10 years that they didn't want to renew the contract and they wanted to go do something different. So that opened it back, the property back up for a music festival. And I think it was open for a good 2 years.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that we didn't get a metal or rock festival because they brought in the people that bought the lease was the Fish Festival.
Okay.
And actually they just had it. I think it was last week or the week before.
Wait, a fish?
PHISH,
okay.
the Hippie Fest.
I thought you meant like fish for a second. I was like,
no,
slinging salmon out there?
No. Yeah. Bring your own salmon.
Fucking tuna weight competitions.
I'm sure.
Tuna benching. Who can bench the heaviest tuna?
I'm sure at the Hippie Fest it smells like salmon in certain areas.
A little bit.
But,
don't you want to go? Come on.
I was shocked that they didn't bring in something harder or heavier, but they did not, and we got Fish for the next, I think it was a 5-year contract.
Okay.
So Fish is in town for the next 5 years.
We should just go and just rage anyway, just see what happens.
We've made jokes about that, and here's my thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Funny joke, great video, but I don't want to be the guy that ruins so-and-so's great time at whatever concert.
Yeah, Vin. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want somebody...
Too soon?
I wouldn't want somebody coming to me at a metal fest and just ending my day with a bunch of bands to go. That would be no fun.
You're right. Looking at it from your exact point of view, I can see it.
And then you sit and watch the rest so your buddies have a good time. But
put a pin in that.
Well, that's about it for the day. We're just going to leave it at that.
I think we're going to call it quits.
We are. That was good. We shared enough. So, I'm going to go ahead and say, Mark, it's good talking to you, buddy.
Oh, yeah, you too. It was a good way to end the festival trip. We're actually closing in on destination. We have another 3 hours to go.
That's not bad at all. We're doing fine.
We killed a bunch of time, so.
All right, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. See you in the next. Well, I don't know what to call it. Fucking travel bullshit talk.
Travel bullshit talk. There you go. That's the best title ever.
We'll figure it out.
All right. See you. Bye.
Bye.